Hello, and welcome to Blogging for Programmers. This tip comes to you from a place where I get a little frustrated when I'm reading people's posts. And it's something that you can do so easily and so helpful. And I haven't done one of the things I'm going to suggest here because it hadn't seemed necessary until just now. When I did this, I usually write it out and explain it when I'm doing it. So the idea is, if you're going to talk about performance, you're going to say something performs better than something. I expect you to test that out, to give me code to replace it, to repeat it. But I also expect that you have some device, some device like this computer with way fewer wires coming out of it than mine does. But you have this device that you're running it on. It may be in the cloud. It may be on your local machine. It may be on your laptop. Maybe you have a virtual machine. It may be a container. But you need to explain that, because when you say something is 10 times faster, that means something. And that's 10 times faster on a certain set of hardware. And maybe it is linearly 10 times faster on all hardware. Maybe if you're running it on my Apple Watch, it takes this much time. And if you're running it on, a supercomputer, it takes this much time. I don't know. Depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to explain and show. So make sure you explain this. So like in my book here, I wrote on graph in SQL Server. When I got to the part where I started putting out, this algorithm takes this amount of time, this algorithm takes this amount of time, I'm not expecting that you'd believe that on your server class machine to process 298,000 nodes in a graph, it's going to take you 227 seconds. Or using another method, it's going to take, whatever. I'm not expecting you to believe that. I expect you to know that that's what it did on my machine. And that when I use this machine I bought from Amazon, it's a Nook 9 with an Intel 6-core i7 975H processor with 64 gigabytes of RAM, 2 terabytes of PCI SSDs, Thunderbolt, blah, 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 HDMI, whatever. The description I got from the Amazon ad when I bought it, and the Amazon listing when I bought it. But it means something. I probably should also and tell you how fast those SSDs are. I should use like a Crystal, I think it's Crystal Disk Mark, those kind of tools. I need to tell what I'm running with, how fast it is, because that means something. These are very slow SSDs. I didn't spend much on this machine at all. They're not as slow as a spinning disk. So if you start going, this is 10 times faster, what do you mean by that? Is it 10 times faster because it's disk bound? Is it 10 times faster because it's memory bound? That's why I put 64 gigabytes of RAM in that machine. So how do you know without being told? And if you do, and this is the thing I haven't done myself that I'm going to do, this will be one of my upcoming blogs, or actually probably be a page on my website. And that is reference architecture. Here is the machine I use and other things I have on it. Like I use the machine I test SQL Server on to edit software. I use it to write. I use it to edit photos. It's where I sync Dropbox. And if I want to do something really, really large, I'll turn some of that stuff off, or I'll turn all of it off, right? But most of the time, I'm just running it. And so I want to run it a few times. I keep it out of memory. If you run things a few times, in SQL Server, I work with databases, so most of that kind of stuff, I get the same kind of speed if I run it enough times. I do it on other machines that maybe I do or do not disclose all the details, because they may not be things I can disclose, but I may say, I'm doing this in the cloud. I'm using this level of hardware. So make sure you tell people what it is you're working on if you are doing performance comparisons, so they can know, oh, that's not going to be the same for me because, or yeah, that'll work. All right, that helps. And thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye.